We are an island culture, surrounded by the endless expanse of the Pacific Ocean. For those that live here, the ocean's influence is pervasive and part of nearly every aspect of our lives. We would be hard-pressed to think of a single day where we did not see, or think, or touch, or interact in some way with the ocean. It is integral to our economy. It is where we go for recreation and for solace and meditation. Perhaps it's the power that attracts us, or the tranquility, or the mystery. Whatever the reason, the ocean strikes a deep and ancient chord in all of us. It is inherent to our identity, and it has been an inspiration to artists since the beginning of time. Next on Spectrum Hawaiʻi, the inspiring sea, the ocean's influence on the art and lives of 4 prominent ocean artists. The work is immediately recognizable, as is the name, Wyland. It is synonymous with whales and fanciful depictions of life under the ocean. Wyland's vision of the largely unseen world of ocean mammals have touched the popular consciousness of ocean lovers everywhere. He gets his inspiration from the source, diving, observing firsthand, and in close encounters with his favorite subjects.
I just try to paint nature as it is and how it affects me. And I feel blessed, like I've had these incredible experiences, and I feel like it's my responsibility now to share those moments through art. Well, it really started for me with the idea of, hey, you know, I'm painting whales, I need larger canvases. So I started looking around the cities at blank walls. There was no real planning in this. It just kind of happened. Things happened in my life, and I believe the whales made it happen. And it was that simple. And to be honest with you, after I painted the first mural depicting the California gray whale, I knew that what I was doing was having an impact.
His whaling walls have evolved from an improvised, homegrown idea into well-orchestrated multi-city world tours.
There we are. Yeah, leave it a little roll.
The painting of the murals are part art exhibition, environmental consciousness raising, and public relations. Wyland is a master at generating enthusiasm and public interest in his art and his environmental causes.
Is anybody scared of heights like I am? Yeah, I'm not your normal artist that sits in the studio quietly painting. I do that. I can do that well. But the other side of me wants to go out in the street and grab people and say, come on, we're going to paint this wall. I want you to, you know, experience this. And I can sure get people fired up. Because I want you guys to experience what I experience when I paint a wall, which is mainly fear. It's definitely high enough. It's about 16.5 stories high. I wish it was a little wider, but with each wall, they have their own character, you know, their own shape, and I try to visualize how to incorporate the shape of the wall into the design. But I really don't have a finished image of what it's going to look like. I know that it'll be humpback whales because this is Hawaii. The humpbacks are the state marine mammal. I just am not sure how the whales will be until I paint the environment. First I paint the ocean and the environment, and then the marine life, the whales will swim up onto the wall after that.
The tools Wyland uses to create his murals range from fine brushes to those of a commercial house painter. Industrial strength scaffolding, high quality exterior latex paint, and airless spray guns are among his usual tools. Here, in time-lapse photography, we see his process more clearly. First, the background is painted. Then the foreground. And finally, the stars of the show are added. Life-size portraits of whales and other ocean mammals. The process happens quickly. Wyland frequently completes a mural within 1 week's time. The background is nearly completed. And by day 5, Wyland is ready to add the final touches to his latest creation.
Okay, here we go. Let's work on the eye a little bit. Really, the eye for me is the focal point of my work, and with the whales, the eye is the most significant part. And the whales have this beautiful spirit, and it all kind of comes together in these eyes.
Wyland intends to create 100 of these murals in his lifetime, a goal he will undoubtedly achieve.
All done. 67. Only 33 more to go, right, guys? That's it. All right. With the success that I'm having now, that has allowed me to travel more around the world and do a lot more murals, and I feel really good about that. Again, the key word there is balance. You know, I've had the success, now I want to try to give something back. And the thing that I can give back to people is these beautiful public murals. They create so much awareness, and to me it's just important. And it makes me feel good. I feel good when I see the way that these murals are impacting people. And in my opinion, the murals inspire people almost as well as the whales themselves do. And how many people are actually going to get out in the ocean and dive or see whales? But if they're driving down the street and they happen to see one of these whales depicted life-size on a wall, I believe they'll become inspired to learn more. I mean, this is a starting point, and art is a tremendous vehicle for raising the consciousness. You know, every person can find a way to make a contribution, whether you're a writer, an actor, you know, whether you're just cleaning up your own neighborhood or your backyard or a park. You know, everybody can find a way to make a contribution and be, you know, somebody that's helping instead of hurting the environment.
My name's Kirk Murakami, and I'm an aquarium biologist at the Waikiki Aquarium. I design, fabricate, maintain our live exhibits, and also do collecting for them. Well, the current trend in aquariums is to design exhibits which are as close to replicating a natural environment as possible. Most aquariums are really trying to get into an exhibit that when you look at it, you think, well, this is a slice right out of nature. And to do that, I try to disguise the shape of the tank as much as I can.
Murakami begins by constructing a scale model of the proposed tank.
I want to get a better idea of what the exhibit would look like with the lighting that's going to be on the tank. So if I put this mask here, get a better idea of what the actual exhibit will look like.
The rock formations used in this exhibit are made of fiberglass fashioned from models Murakami has taken in the field.
By using artificial rock, you can really disguise the shape of a tank and create a more natural looking exhibit. After I have a model built, I know what kind of shapes I want, and I can go out into the field and look for the rocks that have a similar shape. Probably the best thing about my job is that at least part of the time I get to be outdoors, in the ocean or near the ocean. And when I'm out doing molds or planning an exhibit, I can be out in places like this. It's really beautiful. It's just great to be out here. Well, pretty much all my free time and a lot of my work time is spent in and around the ocean. All the activities which I really enjoy doing, surfing, fishing, diving, they're all done in the ocean. And I just feel real fortunate to be able to work someplace where I can be around the ocean all the time.
If it has anything to do with water, or action and adventure, Yuri Farrant has probably filmed it. For over 25 years, Yuri's innovative and breathtaking cinematography have captured nearly every water sport under the sun, and thrilled audiences with scenes like these, in the tube, at the right spot, at the decisive moment.
This is my main camera that I use. It's a 35mm camera that I spent about 3 years building. I built the housing and also, well, actually the camera itself. And what it is it's a double pin registered movement, so it makes it very good steady picture. But then what I did is I married it so that it takes Aeroflex magazines. These sort of magazines here, so it's real easy for loading and unloading, and much more efficient to use in a production sense. It would be a lot easier if I didn't make it to such close tolerances and fall back on the thing of that everything I do is you try to make it as small and as light as possible. Then it all it adds up in the end, hopefully to a nice tight package.
Well, when you surf and you see the really nice days and the good waves, there is something, I hate to sound cliche, but magical about a breaking wave. The action, and the way the water moves, the color of the water when you're diving through the waves and you're coming out the back and the water drops and everything. It's a very magical thing. It's something that you're definitely not exposed to, on land and all day long. When I go out, I maybe go out with 200 feet of film, and that's that'll last. That screen time is 2 minutes, but it's actually shot at high speed. It's only 30 seconds of real-time shooting, so you get you know, most waves only last maybe 5 seconds at the most. So you're getting 6, maybe 10 shots, bursts in there. But it may take me 2 hours to shoot that one roll of film. Being picky and trying to get in the right position, and then, you know, if you have an idea of what's going to look good and what's not already ahead of time, you kind of wait for, you know, rather than wasting the material, you wait for the right moment. Well, I used to just go out with the housing and you know, just trying to get different shots. And now I guess I've become more experienced, and when I look at the waves and the conditions that day, I'll try and orient it towards something that's useful and that'll look good. You know, in picking the lens or which way I'm going to shoot it, the conditions will more indicate kind of what I'm going to try to get. The most important thing is to respect the ocean. You may think that you have a lot of control when you're out there, but you don't. There's so much water there and so much movement and energy there, you don't have control of that all the time. And so you really have to respect the situation that you're in. You know, shooting on land with other cameras, you can set up a shot, I like this, I like that, and in the ocean you don't get to do that. Ocean cinematography is much harder because you have a lot more elements to consider. You have currents and you have tides and color and the direction of the waves. You have to see and judge something, and you have to see it coming, and you have a limited amount of film, so you have to make a decision, and you get into choices, and so you learn to judge a lot in the water, because you're out there in a situation where you have virtually no control over what's happening. You're sitting there, and by your knowledge, you put yourself in the best position you can. Many times you only have one shot at it, and that's it. I feel very lucky in the life that I've gotten to lead here, because there have been so many good times. I mean, it's not always the easiest thing, but I'm getting to enjoy what I do and get out and you know, I guess be in nature and do the things that I like to do.
His watercolors are incredibly rich and detailed in both technique and subject matter. The images are decidedly local, yet the level of his artistry elevates them into universal themes of home and spirit and heart. The works are photorealistic and frequently large and multi-paneled. Yet his choice of subject matter and peculiar sense of design make Doug Young's work remarkably intimate and personal.
The basis of my work is the local imagery. It comes from the heart. It's something that you're in, and you know the subject matter well, and that's the way I paint. It's always paint from the gut, and you're leading with your heart. And if you do that, everything will come out okay. If the gut feeling isn't there, there's this integrity that, you know, don't use it, don't show it. Because the thing about painting is that it's out there, and people can scrutinize it, and if you didn't, it's hard to change, you know. It's hard to go back and say, I didn't want this here, or this, I didn't like this passage, or whatever. Once you put it down, it's down. There's a lot of people that, you know, once they put their paint down, their statement is there. You know, they could do a passage with one stroke of the brush and say, well, this is that, you know. But I don't have that talent where I can just do that. With one passage here, I probably go back to it so many times during the day, or else so many times during the month that, you know, it takes me a long time to just interpret this image as what I see it. So when you think you're finished, you're not really, 'cause it pushes you to a point where you're just going beyond what you think you can do. Because photorealistic painting is basically, you're just sitting with this painting and you're just working it and working it and shaping it, reshaping it, and it's test your patience. Well, actually, my concept of looking at things and producing things is in large scale. I've always loved scale, and of course, scale is fine to do it, but time and, you know, materials and stuff is also kind of a hindrance too. In my kind of painting, the watercolors aren't just a light wash. You're going over these areas maybe 15, 20, 25 times. You're really soaking that paper with this pigment. So it's not, when you look at it, it's not watercolor. It looks like another medium. I haven't had any formal training, so it's kind of looking at watercolors and see how it is, and throwing that away, and throwing it into a different space, trying to push it as far as it'll go so it looks like something completely different.
For all of his formidable technique and skill, subject matter is still the driving force behind Young's artistry, as in this piece of an ancient healing pond on the Waianae coast.
Well, this pond is called Aniani Ku, and in the old days, the ali'i used to come down and bring their newborn babies down and bathe them in the water to give them breath. So it was noted for being a healing pond. I think besides going to a place and just seeing it and getting a gut feeling about it, I think if you can do it on an art view, just totally, that's great. And if you do it purely, then all the other views would kind of come together. If you paint and you paint it how you feel it is, it'll all come out, you know. So you do your best. That's the best you can do. You just try to do it as best as you can, and the response so far has been really positive, which makes the whole circle complete. It doesn't really have to be paintings. It could be going to Kanekapila and seeing Gabby, you know. Remember in ODUH, Gabby and Olamana at that time. I mean, going to something like that and just being just blown away by something like that. It's that magicness that you always want to deal with. It doesn't come very often, but whether you go out surfing, or going to a great concert, or seeing something visually that just blows you over, you know, those are things that you kind of cherish. And as an artist, you want to do something that is connected with Hawaii, that people would identify with, and when you do it, and when they see it, they'll go, yeah, or just get overwhelmed, you know.